Hi guys, today I want to check out a video by Rudyard Lynch and it is called Why Young Men Are Checking Out of Work, Dating and Life. In the video, he will explain why the dating market is rigged and how the dating apps have undermined the romantic prospect of many young men, promising a harem effect, but actually only a small number of people succeed. And it also goes beyond Tinder. The modern institutions actually strip young men of any prospects out there, where everything starts from suspicion rather than from respect, whether you are in school, at work, or in the dating sphere.
Where you look at the chart of male virginity, it jumps from 8% when the iPhone was invented, and then it immediately went up to 27% over a 10-year period. And that's due to the introduction of dating apps. And keep in mind, over 60% of relationships today are started online. For Gen Z, I'm going to guess it's higher. And
I even think there will be definitely a new data about the usage of AI and how AI affected the romantic prospects or virginity levels within men.
And
this is like the harem effect. It's like one high status male attracts all of the attention of the females, and the disparities there leave everybody else like, oh, what are you, under 6'2"? Forget it.
And I think I blame dating apps the most, because if you were to go back to like 2015, this is a much healthier ecosystem, and there was still feminism, there was still all these other things. And
feminism is still there, but modern feminism is completely different than the feminism we're talking about probably, or the one that you are thinking of.
Then the dating apps and the screens. And when people give dating advice, the most common dating advice is go to group events, go to community stuff. But if you look at what the average Zoomer does, the average Zoomer spends 8 hours a day on screens.
Yep.
I think even independent from work. And so what that means is no one's going outside.
Yep.
And so if no one's going outside, that creates an issue. And I look at...
It's the problem of, even from a parenting young kids perspective, if you want to send your kids outside, and no one's outside's super boring.
Where?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
So pretty quickly you're like, well, I put you in the backyard and you're there kicking dust around, and after 30 minutes, I kind of understand you don't want to stay outside because no one's outside.
Outside's a parking lot. And
that is so sad, because as a millennial myself, I remember the outside that you would go and see random people or random guys and girls playing with ball. You just join them, you play. Then the weather gets really bad. Instead of going home, you hide behind or below a rooftop and you just enjoy the rain for 5-10 minutes. Then you understand that the rain is even there for longer and your mom is gonna be worried. So you decide to run with all the children back home, soaked wet, listening to your mom scream at you for not going earlier, but you enjoyed the experience and you still remember it today. Sorry, I just had to take you down memory lane for a second.
Because people say, I mean, it also annoys me, people say, Rudyard, you should touch grass. And like, I've hiked the Appalachian Trail, I've lived in 7 countries, I've traveled around the country, I've done a lot of cool stuff. Going outside is what got me to believe this stuff, because I talked to people outside and they were not satisfied. And outside, I was on the Tom Bilyeu podcast, and I was in West Hollywood, and I thought, I'm going to run a test. I'm going to walk around for an hour, and if there's a homeless guy in this I'm going to sightsee the homeless in West Hollywood, one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the world, and there was this homeless guy doing PTSD shakes and screaming, I want to hurt someone. And I thought, there's no reason for this. This neighborhood's very wealthy. You could choose not to have this guy here, but it's a sign that's outside. And
like, literally all these wealthy people don't even care about the outside, the street itself. They have huge gardens, they have everything, baseball courts, whatever, inside their mansions. So they are all secluded. Everything became so secluded. You have houses that are completely guarded with these huge fences that you cannot even see what the garden looks like anymore. And they are so private within their life because they feel more safe like that.
Go outside. Oh no, I might have fentanyl needles thrown at me from a crazy person.
Fentanyl's Philly's greatest export recently. It's from Kensington. And
yeah,
so
So the dating situation is a complete catastrophe.
Dating apps would be the second most unequal country in the world today, where it would be behind South Africa and ahead of Venezuela. And it's the worst possible equilibrium, because I know lots of guys in that top 20%, and they don't like it either, where the guys who are doing well on the dating apps, hedonism's overrated, I've consistently found. Like the guys in that 20%, they mostly don't actually like being there. Past a certain threshold of hedonism, they do actually want to get a girlfriend or get married or that stuff. But the apps don't sort for that kind of person. And so they sleep with these women as a way to get around not actually having a better alternative. And I think society treats men as more cynical and more basically animalistic than men are. I think most men are actually...
Yeah, I genuinely dislike that. I dislike that, especially from the women perspective, is like a man is all about like he only wants sex, he only wants this superficial thing. So if I give him that or I give him that attention, I got him by the balls or whatever. Like this is also so bad, because thinking that men are only animals and that's the only need they have in life is really sad. Is detrimental actually for their mental health.
Very kind. I think most men have the natural paternal instinct in them.
Well, one of the things to speak to that, when my son was born, and I've talked about this on the show because in some ways it is the animating force.
That saves America.
I was working at Spike TV. My wife, Lisa, we got engaged and the pregnancy happened right around that time. And so we were relatively young. Like, I'm under 50. My son is going to be 20. Would have been normal. Now I don't know anybody that's got kids that old at my age. It was so exciting to become a dad.
Yeah.
It has been the thing that has anchored my reality. I don't care about my political opinions. I don't ultimately care whether my work succeeds or fails. All of that's gravy because of my family and because of especially my son. And the narrative, like, it's like there was a revolution for men that just didn't get acknowledged. Like my wife and I, and this is true of all of my peers.
Yeah.
We aren't like 1950s men. Like we were changing the diapers and getting up and wearing the backpack on the front thing that Baby Bjorn or whatever the hell that thing was called.
Yeah.
We were doing all that stuff. And yet the public cultural narrative is still like bumbling Al Bundy that doesn't carry his weight.
Yeah.
And like I did this whole ad campaign at Spike TV called True Dads. And it was like, hey, one of the ads was like, we know you, super mom, the work, the kids, but what about you, Dad? Where's your super title?
Yes.
And it's like we just literally never got one. It was it was like, do better, guys. Do better. It's like we've been doing.
This actually reminds me of Father's Day was a couple of days ago here in Germany. I don't know about America or anywhere else in the world. And Father's Day didn't exist. There was only Mother's Day in Germany. So the fathers were asking for their own day, and the government wasn't ready to give them their own holiday. So they decided to give them a holiday that already exists. So Father's Day is always on the same day, where it's something related to Christianity, where Jesus was uplifted towards God. Now, I don't know exactly the terminology behind it, but what I'm trying to say is that fathers couldn't even get their own holiday and their own day. They had to share it with Jesus. But in a way, Jesus was uplifted to Father, God, so it kind of makes sense.
Better. What do you got one? It was like, do better, guys. Do better. It's like we've been doing better. What are you talking? Who are you talking to?
That's a good point, because it brings up the point I was going to make. There's no incentive to cooperate inside the system. So you're talking about why someone would show up to work and not do a good job. And I can completely understand that, because that was me in school. And if I had a job, I don't think I'd work hard at a job if I had a normal job now. I would be completely disaffected. And I work hard in my current job because I have a sense of investment in it. And also, it's my work. I'm responsible for it. I can do it how I want. I have agency. If you don't give men agency, men aren't going to work.
You've actually talked about this in some of your videos, that actually
people are not only men, but people because there is no reason. Like, you could be the best worker at a company and give extra time and whatever, you're still gonna be paid the same. Your acknowledgement is gonna still be the same. Maybe you will get a promotion, but that is just maybe.
There's you identified a political correlation between people who have jobs that give them a fair amount of agency and autonomy. Like, their choices matter for the nature of their work. And those that don't talk about that.
Yeah, men need respect. And if you don't give men respect, men will either kill you or leave or turn into slaves. So 3 choices if you don't give a man respect. And I've said before that one of the biggest right-left correlations, and this comes from the Unabomber, is the low agency versus high agency. Because the Unabomber said that the left is a resentful reaction against the machine of modernity. Modernity transforms people into cogs, and the school system's a great example of that. I'm sure your audience would know about that, where the school system, you don't remember anything in school. The thing that school really teaches you, sit down for hours, wake up early, do tasks you hate, and shut up.
Yep.
So that's the skills school really teaches.
It was Prussian cannon fodder machine.
Exactly.
Transplanted with an extra layer of, that might be good for my factory workers as well, but that wasn't.
Yeah. Like, they're literally trying to make you another worker in their firm and company. They don't teach you how to think outside of the box. They don't teach you to actually work on whatever God gave you as a talent. That doesn't matter. You have to do it by the book like everyone else. So basically creating human AIs, creating human robots. And it succeeded. For the majority of the time, so many people are doing this work over and over and over again, not even questioning the system, not even questioning society, or thinking that they are happy by just having that job, not even thinking that they can do better or wanting to even do better because they were drilled for 12, 16 years, 18 years of studying to become this title of a person and just do the job because that's what matters, not you as a human being.
Yeah, exactly. And so the reason that the bureaucratic industrial civilization panders to women so much is twofold. The first is women don't fight back when you push them too hard. The second is that
the way Dad started smiling there. What the hell do you mean women don't push back if you fight them too hard? Women fight. They fight with words. They don't fight physically. Men wage wars. That's true. Men start a revolution. That is true. But women do participate in it in different ways. Believe it or not. If you push a woman too hard within your life, you will not have peace. We're not talking about actual physical war. We're probably talking more about a war where you are gonna not hear her silent anymore. There won't be any more silence or peace in your life. So they do push. They definitely do. Just different type of pushing.
The second,
these claims are really,
this is just
they're
obvious.
Gonna go over great.
This is obvious. I don't know what's controversial.
I mean, see, you've met my wife. My wife has more masculine force than you or I, or maybe the two of us combined.
So why have women never launched a revolt in history? Why is it always the men?
Because they don't go through the physical. They know better. They will whisper it to you, talk to you over and over again in order for you to do something, to be the active person behind it, to do the physical behind it, but they will support you in other ways because physically they cannot do it. They know they will lose a battle they couldn't even start. So their battles are in the shadow. Their battles are behind the stage, but they do fight.
You grab.
I get the general thing, but I can't not. I'm sorry. Maybe I have a little bit of a
okay.
Me. But
I completely agree with Dad. Me being a mom and
85% of
being married,
spending.
I agree.
And
yes, that's true.
So as women control 85% of consumer spending.
Yes,
and
that's true.
So if you're in a
women are consumerist beyond men. Like all these ads on Instagram, they are tailored for women. They know all these companies, fashion, whatever, it's all about women because they know women are the ones who are gonna buy shit and spend their money on unnecessary things. Like when it comes to saving and investments, men are the right person to go to. They know how to deal with money. Women don't know how to deal with money.
Corporate capitalist society, and that's the case. You can see the natural pandering. And
one of the things that does, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Having worked in advertising in New York City, is it does mean that ad-based business models are inescapably going to suffer from being attacked by horseshit.
Yeah, exactly.
By 20-something communications grads from Syracuse working at Ogilvy and Mather.
Yes.
Ethics is what is going to drive everything. Every business that relies on ad dollars will be driven by 26-year-old Ogilvy Syracuse comms grad.
Yes. I never understood how these big corporations cave to criticism, because there's no incentive to do so. There's no incentive. It's like Disney as an example. Disney constantly responds to Reddit posts where they say, oh my God, this character is really gay, and this character actually is a symbol of this weird thing that you shouldn't care about. And then Disney legitimately has changed their stories to reflect subreddits, and they haven't yet realized that Reddit is a human swamp. Because
True.
Responding to these are one of the things Eric Weinstein said is, he said you have to differentiate criticism that exists to tear you down versus to help you, because in the jungle that is human nature, certain animals are scavengers, and most critics today are scavengers. They want to pull you down, and
not only that they want to pull you down, they know by doing so they are gonna get the necessary attention that they lack within their own life. So these are not real critics. These are not people that care about you. These are not people that care about improving whatever it is in the world itself. They only care about feeling better about themselves and about their own failures. So they become the critic, because that's the only thing they can do.
You have to avoid the scavengers. But the point I was trying to convey is that the reason I would be disaffected in a normal job is several. The first is that modern society is so anal and it's so obsessive that I would just get checked out past a certain point because I would hate it. Where, let's say I work at a job at, I work at Best Buy, and they say just the level of hyper-specific control over the people involved means that if you're a young man, you're going to grow resentful of it. Where if you look at, I'm going to use Taylorism as an example. Taylorism is a theory of modern management that you should treat workers as robots. And if I remember the school system, which is a great example of this, when I was in 4th grade, the teachers called my parents in because I was drawing swords. When I was in 5th grade, my friends and I were playing board games, and we were arguing over a rule set, and the teacher said if we didn't clean up the argument immediately, they'd make us stop playing the game. This is just guys arguing over a rule. When I was in 4th grade, with the sword thing, they told my parents, we're doing this because we're afraid you might be a school shooter. And the thing is...
Oh, if they...
Now imagine how epic if he showed up with a really awesome sword. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I think everybody would be talking about that.
My teachers at CNR, we had these copybooks that we called the Wars.
Yes.
That involved every character we could draw murdering each other with chainsaws and being put on conveyor belts and dropped into massive acid.
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah, what's this? What did you draw here? Oh, it's Mickey Mouse gutting Donald Duck.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And
my mom,
and this is the same idea of like, oh, video games are so harmful. Video games create school shooters. Like, this is the whole idea, like FPS games are the worst thing. From FPS games, you can actually detrimentally affect children into growing up as school shooters. Yeah, that's wrong. That is completely wrong. I played FPS game for the longest time ever in my life. I don't think I ever held a gun. I only held like this really long, not real gun. There is a video about it on Instagram. I don't have the need or the necessity or the wish, not only because I'm a woman, but I don't at all believe in the effect of video games on your mind, especially on the mind of a teenager or a person that is in development. I don't think it has any type of effect except having fun. having friends, hanging out, having fun, being even creative, all right, working on your multitasking and impulse, it's really good for the mind.
Mom thought this, I was upset by this, and I later found out my dad was like, no, he's a boy. This is what boys do.
Yes.
Yeah, this is what boys do.
Magnify that across someone's entire life. And you look at the modern corporation where...
So a bunch of finger waving.
Yes, where if you express agency in most low-level jobs, they actively punish you for any agency. Let's say I work at a warehouse and I put my AirPods in to listen to history books. That's very important to me. It has no effect on them because I'm still going to get the job done. They'll say I can't listen to the AirPods because that it doesn't fit a corporate policy.
If you like,
oh my God, that actually scared me at the end, how they changed it. This was great. This actually, there is a full video of 2 hours of the conversation. This is just like one segment that I was interested in. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with what has been said or with what I have said. Critics are more than welcome if they are positive and if they work on the improvement of this whole thing. I am willing to listen. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and see you in the next one. Bye.